Yeah, but
Okay, so this is just for luxury.
yeah, this is just for luxury.
And how expensive can it get?
About more than 1.2, 2.4 million rand.
It's a household wheel.
Yeah, basically. It's more for house, but I mean, if you can, let's say, rent the bus or so you can make your money back within, let's say, a few months. So, well, it's probably a bigger difference from the national.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. There's loads of contesting and fun things that have to do. All right, let's make your team thing. Now that you've got 5 already, you can make history today again with 3 winners in a row. So let's try to do that.
Okay, here we go.
Good luck, yeah. Your time starts now.
Complete the title of the Alicia Keys song title. Go on.
There's something bothering this cow's left front foot, and that problem is right underneath here, but it's probably not what you're expecting. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. You could probably hear my knife coming across them, and there are more right here. Let's get this foot trimmed up, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. As we take a closer look, you can see those little rocks and the path they've taken to get in there, and you can see that they are not in that white line. The white line is out here, and clearly this is on the inside of that. If it's not clear, it'll become much clearer here in a minute. I'm using my grinder here to thin that sole down around that groove, and I know how far to go based on the shading behind that. I can see some darker coloration behind that, meaning there's separation there, so I'm going to thin that down as far as I can. Then I'm going to pull that knife out, and we're going to work our way around. And yes, there were still some stones in there. Now we're going to figure out what exactly they've done. Now there's a lot of background noise from the fan that I'm set up under, but you can probably still hear my knife coming across those rocks and sand up underneath the sole. You can see that debris in there. That's what we got to get cleared away, and you'll get a much better view of what we're dealing with. How do I know how much to take away here? Well, if it's loose and I can safely remove it, I'm going to do that. If I can't take it away safely, then I'm going to leave it in place and we'll get it on that follow-up trim. With this trim, it's pretty straightforward. The separation extends out away from where those rocks work their way through, so I don't really have to worry about safety in this case because I've got a good layer of sole underneath the separation, so I'm able to remove that. Once we get this all trimmed away, we're going to get that area cleaned up. You'll be able to see exactly where those rocks went through. And yes, we are going to use a block in this situation. Some people have asked questions about these blocks and are they omnidirectional? They're actually a little narrower toward the bottom than they are the top. So even though they look like they are, they're not. So they can be put on backwards. Someone was questioning that last time. Why don't you flip it over if you put it on wrong? It is a little wider at one end, not a big deal. But if you got the time, you might as well do it right. So I put them on the right way. Once we get this block on, we're going to go back and clean that area. We still got a little bit of loose horn up near the top there to remove. We get that area cleaned up and get a wrap on that. Right in the center of that sole is where those rocks work their way through. It's just a small little area there, but enough to cause some problems. So we're going to get that area cleaned up and get her the salicylic acid wrap.